Nicholas Williams is an accomplished pianist and writer. He is currently a PhD student at WAPA, and he is a much sought after accompanist in Perth and has given lecture recitals both here and overseas. Nick, along with some of his young colleagues, this year have formed the group, the Australian Piano Collective, to promote knowledge and performance of the keyboard. He is also, as you can guess, you probably guessed, is Kalamunda Singh, our choir's very accomplished and treasured accompanist. Please welcome Nick.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I'm very honoured to be here yet again. It's wonderful to come up to Kalamunda every week and play with Kalamunda Singh. Today...
Hello. Just thank you. So I'm going to play two pieces by a composer and pianist who apparently, from what I can tell, was the most financially successful pianist who ever lived, according to some rumours. Hard thing to prove, obviously, but it's a name that I guess maybe some people haven't heard of, despite his immense success. So let's have a show of hands. Who's heard of Ignaz Jan Paderewski? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, a few people, But if we rolled the clock back by about 100 years or 120 years, I would say every single person in this room would know Paderewski. So Paderewski was a Polish-born pianist who had something of a difficult upbringing, but he was committed to his piano playing, and by the 1890s he was by far and away the most successful pianist in Europe. He had his real kind of coming out in London in 1890, and then he went across to America the following year, and that's where he really made his name touring for a piano company called Steinway and Sons, who's a piano company you might have heard of. At that point in time, Steinway was kind of unknown, but it was Paderewski who really made Steinway famous. He toured around America playing these pianos. We don't have one today, but Steinway is still the kind of recognized great piano maker. So the fabulous thing about Paderewski, he was a concert pianist, he was a composer, he was a Polish patriot, and if you know anything about Polish history, you might think prior to the First World War, that's a troubled time for the Poles. In fact, there was no Polish state, which was really part of the thing that caused World War I, or led to it. So Paderewski was this kind of high-flying concert pianist, and he had all these connections around the world with people like presidents and kings and what have you. And when the First World War broke out and Poland was struggling, he kind of stepped up and took it upon himself to be a kind of spokesperson for Poland. And as the First World War was coming to a conclusion, the US President Woodrow Wilson, who drafted a famous document called the 11 Points, which was a diplomatic thing which was going to bring peace to Europe, Paderewski convinced President Woodrow Wilson to include Polish independence as part of this document that led to the Treaty of Versailles that brought to the end World War I. And this Polish pianist, Ignaz Paderewski, was in fact a signatory on the Treaty of Versailles, which I think is fabulous. Not many pianists can claim that kind of thing. And after the war, he was in fact the Prime Minister of Poland for about 2 years, and led a kind of political career, and then he went back to the piano. So, Paderewski's immense success. He was one of the first truly great pianists to have been recorded on early forms of recording, 78 RPM, wax cylinders and discs and all of that kind of thing. He also starred in a film as himself in the 1940s in Hollywood. So I'm going to play two pieces by Ignaz Paderewski, which he always tended to include on his programs. The first is called Melodie, which is just a charming melody, and the second one is called Cracovien Fantastique, which is a kind of take on a traditional Polish dance. So here's two pieces by Paderewski.